No Scotty, no Pippen, no Michael, no Jordan, no Bull. No Bull. No Bull. Only real shit in my town. Not if fake niggas ain't round. No Bull. No Bull. Yeah. No Bull.
What's happening, people? We are back. Sorry, we didn't do an episode last week because my guest went down and was really ill. So good to know he's doing better now. He's feeling all right. So we're going to rearrange that one, and hopefully he will be on in the next few weeks. So that will be good to have him back on. Today we have got. He's a Brooklyn Nets fan, which is perfect timing, really. I did say I'll try not to gloat too much. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's he's not probably seen too many Bulls games, but it will, again, just a bit of a chat, basketball chat. Be like two mates catching up, and as always, just get involved in the comments on YouTube. As I always say, we're about 30 seconds behind on a delay, so just bear with us. I will see them. If you want to get involved, then please do. Right, without further ado, let's introduce him and bring him on. He is Mr. Hoopin and Lootin, Elliott Wade. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, pal. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you taking the time and helping us out.
Pleasure. Always is. Good timing, too.
If you're on the audio and you're not watching it on YouTube, Ellie has got on an awesome jersey. It's actually my favourite jersey of all time.
And it's actually, well, I assumed I was going to get a lot of stick tonight. So I wore it just because it's the ultimate Bulls jersey.
It is.
The authentic champion. And you don't have it.
So it is the black with red pinstripes, Michael Jordan. Yeah, champion authentic. And Eddie's right, I don't have that. I do have the Mitchell and Ness authentic in that same design. But yeah, it's not really the same.
Yes, but one of the all-time jerseys, though, isn't it? It's one which every fan should have in their collection.
It's my favourite of all time. I've got a Rodman Swingman, Mitchell and Ness, and I treated myself last year to the authentic Jordan. In fact, Sam Blake, he recently got it turned up last week, I think, and he was messaging me saying, "Oh my God, it is amazing. You were right, but you're too scared to wear it." It's like.
Yeah, I saw his tweet. You're right, because I've got, it's even worse. I've got with my gamers. You see them and you want to wear them, but you're like, I just can't do it. Can't do it.
I've got so many jerseys in the cupboard that have just never been worn, and I don't know if I ever will.
It's exactly the same. I was having a look through the other day of just all the personals, and I've got I've got an MJ collection, I've got a LeBron collection, I've got a Kobe collection, and then there's all the Nets. And I was just like, even if I wanted to, I don't have the time to wear all of these. It's just...
I think for me, when I wear them, I put them on for if I'm watching a game or whatever, I'll put them on for a couple of hours and then take them off, so I haven't got to wash them. Because I don't want to waste any washes on them in case they start to deteriorate.
Well, I'm all right, because if they shrink in the wash, they'll probably go to my size.
And that's an awesome jersey, though. And, respect for wearing that on it. Well, respect for coming on, man, after what happened Saturday night.
Yeah, not great, was it?
The game wasn't great as a whole. The Nets weren't great. We weren't particularly great, to be truthful. It wasn't the best game. But, like I always say, give me 72 ugly wins over, pretty defeat.
Yeah, I think most teams' games will have the same opinion against the Nets this year, or so far, which is it's not great. But that's because we're still very much in a working it out period. So I'm the flip side of everyone being concerned about how not great it is. We're not playing good basketball.
No.
But we're top of the East. were winning games. Everything was levelled at us last year that we couldn't defend. We lose the games we should win. We're not doing that, which suggests to me they fixed some of the problems from last year, and the other parts will come as the players get more. We find out our proper rotations. We get players back from injuries. So a lot of teams are finding that, but we're kind of making teams play at a bad level too, which is kind of a skill in sport. Is to, when you're not playing well, it's a skill to bring other teams' level down. And we've seen how your lot are flying, but again, it still brought it down a level. That game shouldn't really have been as close as it was, but that's a positive from our side.
You've only got to look back to the Houston Rockets game that we lost. That was something. You've just summed up exactly what happened, really. And we lost to the Pacers before, but in fairness, the Pacers one didn't come as a shock to me because it was the second night of a back-to-back. We had a brutal schedule out on the West Coast and everything else, and the November for the Bulls, how we got away with the wins we did, to be honest, I have no idea. We lost the games that were nailed on wins and we won the rest, basically. But that Houston one, there was kind of no excuse for that. The Pacers one, fair enough. It's going to happen. They look gassed. The whole team look absolutely gassed. And that is understandable. It's crazy what these guys have to do. I know they make millions and millions, but even so, they're still only human. You can't just find energy. You can't buy energy with their money. It doesn't work like that. But the Rockets one, man, I mean, you probably didn't see it. I'm certainly not going to watch it back. But the Bulls-Rockets game was an absolute shocker.
I got your radio silence, so I assumed it wasn't great.
Mate.
But I'm glad you admitted. I'm glad you said there that you can't really judge games on the second of a back-to-back.
Not always, not always, but on some occasions you can. Listen,
you just give my excuse for me. So
listen, it's like I always say to people in the group chat, in the fans group chat, like, don't use my analogies against me. They only work in my favour.
Right. So when you're trying to use my pictures, and my sayings.
If anyone didn't see it on the socials, so Elliott he's got a graphic that he's got, which is 50 Cent, and it's Nets by Fiddy.
Made by a Bulls fan, can I add?
Who made it? Dean?
Jim Jack made that.
Did he?
It was nothing to do with me. It was purely his idea.
Okay, well done, G-Shack. You're helping out the enemy here, G. Come on, man. Anyway, so Elliott always accuses me of stealing his jokes in the group chat, and I remembered his graphic. So it was Nets by Fiddy, presented by Elliott Wade. So I got hold of it, mixed it up a bit, and put Balls by Fiddy, presented by me, and I had the same pose picture that Elliott had, and I put it on the group, on our NBA UK fans group, just before I posted it. I said, you know how Ellie likes to accuse me of stealing all his jokes? Well, now I'm nicking his graphic.
I think we all know that. Do you know what, though? Genuinely, that's why I love the takes that I have, because it means that I can really, really laugh when I get all the shit thrown back at me, because we know that it doesn't get to me, which is even better, because sometimes it really, really gets to fans that they can't get to me. They get vicious stuff said to me. It's like I said to you, like, I don't mind losing to the Bulls. If I lose to the Pacers, then I just won't speak for a week. Because they're just the most irrelevant thing in basketball. If I lose there, I don't mind losing to the Bulls, because I bigged up the Bulls at the start of the season, and especially when you came on Shirts and Giggles, was just after the all last season's trades, when I've said about players that you picked up, which in a while will start to come good, especially about Vucevic, even though he's a dickhead, because whenever we play Vucevic, we lose. Even when he's playing for Orlando Magic, we just lose whenever we play Vucevic. So I don't mind losing to the Bulls.
I didn't realise that was where your hate come from, Vooch. I thought it was the whole English thing in the Euros.
No, I was way before that. I've been calling Vucevic a dickhead for years, just because we lose when we play him. And then I get Gerrard piping up.
Gerrard loves him still.
He's just like a little rat, like chewing away at my ear. Like, we won a game. I was like, I don't care, Gerrard. It's like that Jack them from the departed gift. Like,
So let's do a hypothetical here, right? The Brooklyn Nets are playing the Knicks and the Pacers on a back-to-back. You're going to go 1-1. Which game are you winning? If you get to choose.
probably the Pacers.
Oh, man, really?
Because rivalries are good for sport. And at the moment, there's no rivalry between the Knicks and the Nets. So it would be really, really good if they beat us, because it would create a rivalry again. At the moment, they're just loud and they've got more than 14 pounds, which apparently makes them really good. So it'd be nice for them to win a game and actually talk about basketball, not ping pong and crap like that.
Ping pong. Oh man, I mean, listen, I'm not shocked with how the Knicks are doing this season. Like, I gave them all credit last year. Yeah, they had a great season, finished fourth, brilliant, fair play. Like, I definitely didn't see that coming. Old man's up, and credit to them for that. But I'm not surprised they've dropped off a cliff. Like, I'm really not, and I'm not just saying that because I love to hate on the Knicks and to wind Martin up. I'm genuinely not surprised that the Knicks aren't very good at the moment.
It's very, very easy for me to put them down just because I'm a Nets fan. But if you take all of that out and you just look at their roster, then you're right. It's not overly surprising. And I don't mean that with any disrespect, but you look at their roster and think that's probably a 500 team.
At best.
Yeah. And I don't think that's being disrespectful, because that's still not a terrible record.
No.
But it's not. You look at that roster and it's not a team which you'd say, right, they're going to cause problems for people here. I mean, if it wasn't for D Rose, they'd be really, really near the bottom of the table at the moment.
Yeah.
For me, they just don't have anyone that jumps out. I mean, you can even look at teams which are really, really struggling and players jump out. I mean, even if we're going Rockets, you can look at people like Christian Wood and go, well, there's deeper. Pelicans, you can look at Brandon Ingram. I know Zion's out, but you can look at Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean? Teams which are near the bottom, there's still something there. You think, well, maybe something can click. Whereas the Knicks, you've got Randall, who at the moment just looks like he's not interested unless it's a Nets game, which is bizarre to me.
To be fair, he does play pretty well against us as well, in fairness. That was one of the things Martin did say when we beat them. We played them 3 times. They beat us first time in Chicago by 1 point. We then beat them. Again, it was a close game. I think it was by 3, maybe. I can't remember. And Randall played well in that game. And Martin did say to me, well, one positive is you've made Randall find himself again. And then, of course, I don't think he's done much since that.
Yeah, and that kind of sums up what I was saying, the 500 team, doesn't it? He's not performing. He's not an all-star level. He's Mr. Inconsistent, which doesn't get you much in this game.
It started in the playoffs, didn't it? He was brilliant all last season, and then as soon as they got to the playoffs, that was it. And he's not really, I don't think, been the same. Well, not consistently anyway since. But everyone was telling me, look, certain people who I won't name, but I've got the receipts, and I'm not just talking about Martin, because I don't blame Martin. He's backing his boy. Like, that's what we do as fans, like, fair play. But there was one person in particular, there were many, but there was one in particular who I'm not going to name, that was telling me that he would rather have Julius Randle than Vucevic. And that was after the playoffs.
I would love Vucevic to come to the Nets. I would absolutely love it. He wouldn't have to play a game. It would just mean that I could watch games where we're playing against them. I can't watch a game when he's playing, because I'm just not, I say we're going to win every game by 50 points. And then I see Vucevic standing there and I'm like, he's such a dickhead.
But he's a very, very good player, and that's why you think he's that.
He's an incredible player, but it still just gets to me.
The mad thing about the Bulls season, right? Obviously, we're second in the East at the moment. I'll be honest, like, I love winding people up in our group chat and stuff, but the reality is, mate, I did not think for 1 second. And I know we're only we're probably not even a quarter way through the season, are we? But I didn't expect to be here now, especially after, like I say, that November schedule was brutal. And to think we're doing that without Patrick Williams, who's our starting power forward. He's not played a game. And Vucevic he just couldn't score to start the season. Then he was out with COVID protocol for 10. I think it was about 2 weeks in the end. He was out for maybe just a bit under 2 weeks. So we didn't have him. We haven't had Kobe because he was injured coming off the bench. He was massive for us off the bench.
Don't you dare mention the fifth person, which you're going to try, which you did in the group chat.
Yeah, absolutely, I am. Yes, because he missed the majority of the game against you.
Every single team can pick a player that's missed half a game.
No, it's more than half a game.
Problems.
Listen, if you had said to me, right, we're going to be without
You're saying Caruso, you had him.
Listen,
you missed half a game.
It was more than half a game. If you had said to me, we're going to play the Brooklyn Nets, right? We're not going to have Patrick Williams. We're not going to have Kobe White. We're not going to have Javonte Green, who's been phenomenal for us. And Alex Caruso is only going to play the first quarter. I'll be like, oh, well, that's an L. That's a big L.
All right. So by that logic, because of Alex Caruso's horrendous amount of time that he's missed, he's automatically out of the running for sixth player of the year by your own admission, because you can't have a player going for sixth man of the year that's missed so much time. So you either pick one or the other. You either can't say for the rest of the year Caruso sixth man of the year, or you can't use the excuse that you've had to play without him.
No, so you've mistaken my point was I was purely talking about the Nets game, which Caruso missed like 3/4 of it. He's only missed a game and 3/4 so far this season. I'll give you that. I'll
tell you, the reason why I'm not surprised, look, I'll change that. I'm a little bit surprised they're as high as they are, but I could see it, especially at the start of the season when a lot of teams have had little changes, which are the better teams, which are going to have to adjust to. But I said with Bulls, along with Wizards at the start of the season, that there's the potential there for them to do very well because of the players they've signed, which are likely to have a chip on their shoulder and a lot to prove. So players like Lonzo Ball, who is an incredible player for me. Last season, one of my picks, who I really wanted to watch and keep an eye on, was the Pelicans, because I thought they had an incredible roster and completely underperformed. But I think Lonzo Ball was a victim of LeBron James. I can see why he was traded to get LeBron James in, or AD, whichever one it was.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
But he's an incredible player, young with a lot to prove. Caruso, again, being a victim of the Lakers, shouldn't really have let him go. So you've got players there. And the reason why I compared it to the Wizards is people like Dinwiddie and Kuzma. Kuzma is relevant because he's also part of the Ball, Caruso and Lonzo Ball. So there's too many balls here. The Bulls, ball. But
part of the Lakers casualty list.
With a lot of potential, which have probably thought, hang on a minute, I've been a bit mistreated here through no fault of my own. Kind of a victim of the big name mentality of teams trying to get a big three, a big two, and they're kind of been ushered aside. So these guys, with the mentality they'll have, even to reach the NBA, these guys have grown up with a mentality that I am the best player in the world. It's why you'll never see me criticise people. People love to level it at Ben Simmons for him saying how good he is. Every single basketball player that has made it to the NBA will believe that they are the best player in the world. If they didn't believe that, they wouldn't be in the NBA. It's that hard to get into that they wouldn't have it. So these guys, being as young as they are too, there'll be a bit of arrogance. Their pride would have been hurt, and arrogance in a good way. I don't mean that in a detrimental way, that they're going to come out firing. So it's not surprising when you add in people like Vucevic. It's not surprising for me that the Bulls are doing that. It's surprising they're as high as they are, but not that they're winning games.
I get what you're saying with the players their mentality has to be that. I think for them all to believe they're the best player in the world might be a bit of a stretch, but I get what you're saying.
Or believe they could be the best player in the world. Sorry, not to say that currently, but
no,
every single one of them will
I get
believe
what you
they
mean.
could be.
I get what you mean, but and the arrogance thing, I say it about all the top sports people in the world. Every top level athlete in the world has a bit of arrogance about them. They might be the nicest person in the world, but deep down they have a bit of arrogance about them because, like exactly like you just said, if they didn't, they ain't making it to the top.
Yeah, it's that arrogance and that little bit of nastiness too, which you saw come out in LeBron James a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
most top players, and I mean in the complete upper echelons here, will have that streak of nastiness, and that's across the board in all sport. It's because of that single-mindedness that they get to where they are.
Yeah,
and you have to be.
100%. I do agree with that 100%. But yeah, it's crazy to me that we touched on it last pod and probably the pod before that Caruso done the podcast with JJ Redick, and he was saying that he even went back to the Lakers after the Bulls had offered him. Went back to the Lakers. No, maybe it was before the Bulls. I can't remember. I lost track. But he went back to the Lakers to ask for even a pay cut. I think it was, yeah, because he asked for less than the Bulls were going to give him because he wanted to stay there, and they still didn't pick him up. And we had David Sago on a few weeks back, who's a Lakers fan, and he was saying that they kind of ultimately chose between Caruso and Horton Tucker. Horton
Tucker. Yeah.
Horton Tucker. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's. I haven't seen enough of Horton Tucker tonight, but it's a strange decision for me because Caruso's also a fan favourite. So in a Bulls fans will attend to this. When back offices take risks with fan favourites, it can backfire very quickly if it doesn't pay off.
Who are we talking about?
So it's just all with the Jerry and do you know what I mean with how they did with players? When the back office makes decisions which affects players that fans really adore, it can turn sour very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, our previous front office, they were just bloody terrible at everything. But I don't think many are questioning our current front office. If they are, I don't know what to tell them, because what they've done in the 18 months or whatever it is that they've been in charge is really amazing. Honestly, like that Vooch pickup. You said that last year. It was a great pickup, and that was what led really to the DeRozan pickup. Because Vooch and DeRozan, basically Vooch got DeRozan in. He recruited him, so that I was chuffed. And I know a lot of people. I know you weren't. When I say a lot of people, you weren't one of them. To be fair, credit to you. But so many people were saying the DeRozan pickup's a bad one. He's past it. They're overpaying him. This, that, and whatever. And he's probably playing better than he's ever played. Like even when he was in Toronto, I think he's playing better now with the Bulls than he was ever.
It's interesting because there's similarities with LaMarcus Aldridge. I feel for Spurs fans a bit when you see the players which are in the league now, which are no longer at the Spurs. But yeah, people said the same with LaMarcus Aldridge. He's gone past it. People said the same with Mike Blake. I know he's out of rotation at the moment, but I think it's washed. What's the point of getting him? It's just because it's a name who won't do anything, and people forget that these people know what they're doing. They're not just going, you're not going to get employed by the Chicago Bulls and go, right, I'm going to play 2K 2012 and see who's got the highest rating on them and just sign them because they are. Do you know what I mean? It's some people react as if general managers and stuff just don't watch any basketball, which is bizarre.
Mate, you talking about LaMarcus Aldridge? I actually wanted to take him when he said he was possibly coming back. I was all for the Bulls picking him up, and there was a lot of, and I get it, I get the reasoning, but a lot of fans didn't want to take the risk. But I definitely would have taken the risk with him.
It's just an incredible player to watch because I'm not going to lie, I didn't know. You see him. It's always the same when a new player comes to your team. You see a lot more that you'd never noticed before.
Oh, of course you do, yeah.
Wow. Like he's just effortless. He doesn't look like he can run.
No.
Doesn't look like he can move. and he's just his shot looks. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look right.
But it drops.
And it's automatic. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And Patty Mills coming there too. Another Spurs.
Yeah, another Spurs. Oh God, yeah. Again,
If you
another
think of
good
like you
player.
got DeRozan, Aldridge, Patty Mills, Kawhi. You're just like, what have they done?
Yeah, it does. Wow, when you put it like that, it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
But to be fair to them, they had 18 years of this millennium of just being in the playoffs every time,
Dominant.
which is the complete polar opposite to the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, well, I know I'd want to be right now. So,
How far do you go? What's the aim then?
mate, I like to wind people up in the group, as you know, but deep down, I am a realist, and I said at the start of the season we would be a 4th to 6th seed. I didn't think 4th was unrealistic, and I still don't. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I am not pinning my hopes on being a home seed because a home court advantage because there's so long to go. There's so long to go.
Who else gets above you then?
At the moment, sorry.
I think you can say the Bucks and the Nets.
Well, they were to me, it was at the start of the season, I said it would be Nets and Bucks would run away. They would be in their own little category at the top. Then there's probably 5 or 6 teams that will compete, Bulls being one of them. And then there's the bottom end. That was what I thought. Right now, I don't know, other than the Nets and probably the Bucks will get it together. And
yeah, they're on a big streak now, aren't they? They're 10-1.
So that's going to be a thing. I don't know. I don't think the Celtics are going to figure it out anytime soon. I'm not sure about the Sixers. The Sixers can. The Sixers could pull it together. They certainly did when they played us. I can't see Washington keeping up this pace, but maybe they will. They've got some good players, and they're playing really well. From what I watch Bulls games. I don't watch all the games like some of these crazy people do, but I've seen clips of the Wizards, and some of the basketball they're playing is unbelievable. I don't know, man. I hope we get 4.
But that's why I said it. As I don't think. I think the Bulls now, with the start they've had, should be aiming to finish in the top 4 because there's only the Bucks and the Nets. The Bucks and the Nets are going to finish in the top 2.
Mm.
The Bulls at the moment are the team that's staying with them. The Celtics and the 76ers will go on a big run because they have Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid. That at some point they will go on a run. However, no one knows when that's going to be, and it's not going to be an extended run. I don't see any reason with the roster the Bulls have got, with the experience that the Bulls have got, that they should be aiming. They should be aiming for 3rd and 4th seed. There's no reason why they shouldn't have a home court advantage.
There is a team that I did completely forget about. Dan Healy will be cursing me. Miami Heat.
Right. I did say the Heat before that, but yeah.
Miami Heat, they could easily jump us, I think. So, but I don't know if anyone else will. So that's why I'm trying to be like positive. I'm a positive person, but I'm also trying to be a realist. I think we have to go for home court now. We have to.
Yeah.
Especially after the start we've had. But we also can't pin everything on a home court because it could go belly up quick. I mean, it's sports. I would say it's the NBA, but it can happen in any sport. I don't know, man. I don't know. I am buzzing, and I say this every week. Like, I go to work, mate, after watching a game, and if I don't watch it live, I get up early in the morning and watch it before work. And I am just, even if I watch it live and I've had like 4 hours sleep, and I'm basically on death's door because I'm the type of person that needs my sleep. I don't do well on no sleep. And I've got an active job and it's really, really tough. I don't know how people do it. But even if I'm so tired, I can still feel myself grinning from ear to ear when I'm just thinking about the games, unless it was, of course, one of the ones we lost, which sucks. But even just the position that we're in, the players we've got, the coaching that we've got, we've actually got a coach that coaches. And Jim Boylan, when he was there, was like, We've got Kobe White. We've drafted Kobe White, who's a mid-range absolute menace at mid-range. No, you're not allowed to take mid-range shots. They're wasted. You get the other side of the arc and you shoot three-pointers. That wasn't his game. Imagine Jim Boylan telling DeMar DeRozan, you're not allowed to shoot mid-rangers. Do you know what I mean? This is just proof. This season is proof that there is still so much value in the mid-range shot. Mate, I don't need to tell you, you got Kevin Durant on your team, for Christ's sake. He's the best. He's the best that does it, in my opinion. And I think at the moment, I would say DeRozan is a close second.
Yeah, I think unless you've got a freak like Steph Curry, unless you've got freak 3-point shooters, then you need to have a mid-range game, because otherwise you're going to have games where you score 140 points, and then 3 games where you score 80 points because you're just taking 3-pointers from everything. But you're right. I do want to get your thoughts though, and probably the best season Bulls have had for a long time coincides with Lauri Markkanen leaving the Chicago Bulls.
My argument with that is Cleveland aren't doing too bad either, are they?
That's because I got Jarrett Allen. But
no, it's because they signed the finisher.
It's because I got Jarrett Allen. But are the Bulls a better team without Lauri Markkanen? Yes or no?
No.
The Bulls are. That smile from ear to ear.
We need a power forward, man. We ain't got one. We ain't got no depth in that area.
So you sign him back?
At what cost?
You have to give up one of your starting 5 now to get Lauri Markkanen back. So, yeah.
One of our starting 5 right now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
without injuries, one of your starting 5. So name me your teams first. Your best starting 5. If all players are available.
Well, then I don't know if I can do that. You've put me in a really difficult position.
Name me your best starting 5.
Well, the starting 5 going into the season is, or would have been, Lonzo, obviously. Lonzo at point, Zach at shooting guard. Where are we? DeMar DeRozan, small forward. Patrick Williams, power forward, and Vucevic at centre. That was the starting lineup going into the season before Patrick Williams went out injured.
So do you give one of them up for Lauri Markkanen?
Sorry,
because you've just said the Bulls are a better team with Lauri Markkanen.
Sorry, mate, I'm losing you. The connection's gone a bit funky.
But come on, you just said the Bulls are a better team with Lauri Markkanen, so you've got to give up one of those starting 5.
No, I think your audio's gone, mate. We can't hear you.
What's that advert on TV where she's like, oh, she's frozen and the cat walks by?
That's basically what's happening here.
Your eyes go.
Oh, you can't do this to me. Right, listen, I thought, one of the reasons I was so happy that we got Nikola Vucevic, people are going to laugh me and might even switch off from me saying this, right? I believed in Lauri Markkanen so bad. Vucevic is everything that I thought Lowry could be. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that is how much I believed in him. Everything Vooch is now, and I mean everything, although his defense has picked up this season. Vooch has, to be fair. But Vooch wasn't really known for his defense, and neither is Lowry. Honestly, that was what I expected him to reach, that level.
Did you find that you were more and more supportive of him the more and more you realised that he wasn't going to be that player?
Yes, because
when I see Nets players getting stick from our own fan base, then I will go 400% behind that player. Big up Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot.
TLC,
smashing it for the Hawks now in their starting 5. And last year, honestly, the hate that man got for literally playing 2 minutes a game, and people were blaming losses on him when you got Joe Harris, like Joey No Buckets taking 3 shots a game and getting paid $700 million a year, and you've got people going, "Yeah, that's TLC's fault." You're like, "Well, hang on a minute. If a bloke's going to come on for 2 minutes in the game and expected to hit 5 out of 5 threes." So I'm like that. When a player starts getting the shit, then I will go 400% and start backing them. And I think you're like that with LaMarcus. You know he's not. You know he's not up there. You know he's not going to be. But you refuse to let it go. You always have to pick up the underdog.
I still really want him to get there, though. Like, even
it's the same with me with TLC. Now he's gone to Hawks. I'm checking every morning.
Yeah,
the Hawks have had a game. I'm straight at box score. Where's TLC? What's he done?
Yeah, I do.
12 points, 5 rebounds. Big up TLC.
So this is how my life goes, right? If the Bulls are playing, I've got to stay off. If I don't watch it live and the Bulls play, I have to stay off my phone.
Really?
Yeah. So I get up, like, if I don't watch it live, I'll get up like 2 hours before I have to go to work and watch it before I go to work. But I stay off my phone. So I watch the game not knowing. And then, by the way, remember that, Rich Barrett, because twice now he's ruined. I've woken up to a WhatsApp message off of him. Yesterday morning.
Don't get phone calls off him.
Nah, he don't call me. Nah, he don't. I don't think he loves me as much as you. But
I think he does it because he knows I hate phone calls.
Oh,
almost as much as voice notes.
Oh, yes.
If you're a male, don't ever send me a voice note. You're not an ex-girlfriend. It's not 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't send me voice notes because I won't listen to them, and then you'll get upset that I don't reply.
I was just about to say, guess who's going to send you a voice note after we recorded, but you just said you're not going to listen to it, so it'd be pointless. So Rich Barrett messaged me, Lonzo. So you wake up to that, right? That is blatantly Lonzo's it a game winner, possibly a buzzer beater, but that. So I'm like, oh, for God's sake! So I'm watching the game. And I just kind of knew the Bulls are going to win because Lonzo Ball's going to do something amazing, even though he was having a shocker shooting, which he has done for the last 2 games. By the way, have you seen the clip where he shoots that 3 ball at the end and then he ducks down?
I've seen him shoot a 3 ball, yeah. Wow.
No, against you.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you blatantly do know. I'm going to retweet it in a minute and tag you in there. Imagine having that much confidence when you've been shooting the ball pretty badly for 2 games. That's insane. But that goes back to what you said earlier, doesn't it? About the belief.
They do, don't they? They have players which you don't worry about. But you're quite lucky that you can turn your phone off because I like you a lot of the time. I won't watch the game live because I watched every playoff game live last year, and it took me about 4 months to recover. I was basically on death's door. Yeah. And I don't have to go off and do it. I can work from home and just stay in. But
imagine if you got to the finals.
Well, exactly. But I can't get away with not looking at my phone in the morning because I have to get on it for work. I have to do it to get my socials and stuff. So there's absolutely no way that I wouldn't see something. So I always know the score. But then I look at it as a positive. I don't want to watch a crap Bulls game where we lost. So I can watch everyone moan about it, see the highlights, and then just go, yeah, whatever.
Well, going back, so once I've watched the game, the next thing I do is check on the scores. The first score I look for is if they played the Knicks. Obviously, me and Martin have got that bet going. So every Knicks loss is another little gain towards to me. And then the second thing I look for is the Cleveland games. And Bulls fans are going to hate that because Bulls fans hate Cleveland because of LeBron James and everything else. But I do just to check Larry's box score. And it's going back to what you said about TLC. So, yes, I absolutely still check his box score.
Where you said, that it's funny you say about the scores because I don't hate them. I've got no ill feeling towards them whatsoever. But the one team which I can't see us lose against, which I can't accept, is the Celtics. And before games, I get so nervous because their fans are so insufferable. Like, and they don't even realise that they're so insufferable. Like, they're just... Honestly, I just can't handle them at all. So before Knicks games and everything, I was so chill before that. If we're playing the Celtics, I can't handle it because I know that they don't, like, they just say stuff without even realising that they're just being dicks. And I know if we lose that I'm actually going to bite to them. Not much stuff gets to me. You all know that. Nothing really gets to me. But there's always some random Celtic person, and I don't really mean the UK community. Most of them are all right. I mean like the actual fans, but you know what I mean, like the American versions of fans who are like just so oblivious in their own one person world that I'm just going to snap at a random American bloke in Boston. But honestly, before the game, I can't handle it, and I'm just like, it's bad. But I don't know why, because I like the Celtics. I mean, I genuinely do like them, but I just can't handle it. Not at all.
It can be too much. It can be too much. I mean, I think, to be fair, I massively let, especially Martin, but Knicks fans, I didn't really go in on them when we beat them on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. I was quite calm, but I spoke to...
They'd had enough. To be fair, they'd had a tough couple of days.
Oh, yeah, you had beat them just before, didn't you? Of course. Yeah. You'd had a terrible week. So I felt a bit bad. And also, we done a Spaces thing. I think it was with Rich Barrett, done one on the NBA UK fans account. And Martin was in there. And he was saying that he was going to watch the Bulls game live. So I was like, brilliant, I'm watching it live. So we can have a bit of backwards and forwards during the game. And it got to half time and the Bulls were up like 18 or something or whatever it was. And then, sorry, the cat's jumping down, so you might hear a bang. There he is. And it got to half time and I was like, I started writing out a massive text, and then, a massive tweet, sorry. And then I was like, nah, this isn't over yet. Like, I've seen too many Bulls games to know that this is not over. So I just put it in the draft. But then I checked on Martin's Twitter account and he wasn't active, so I'm guessing he didn't watch it live. But yeah, I refrained from it, and I thought, you know, he's had a bad week. So
because I said on the Nets Discord, because I don't usually say anything to Knicks fans, but I was getting so many like messages from Knicks fans for this game. I was like, I've got no idea why I'm getting so much from here. I was like, because I don't really say anything about the Knicks. I just intentionally spell their team name wrong in every tweet, which really gets to them for some reason. They hate that I take the K off. But I was getting so much, so I was just like, you better believe that I am going hard. But it all changes in the morning when I saw that every single one of them was blaming the ref.
Yeah, which is so ironic.
There is nothing worse than going public with you blaming the ref for losing. Do it in your private groups. Do it to your team fan groups. Don't do it in public because you just proper mugged yourself off. So that just meant a full 24 hours of Leonardo DiCaprio laughing gifs in reply to every single one that I got, because it's the same as I used it to Gerrard in the Euros, and they just kept replying, like asking me questions, and I just kept replying with the same gif, and they didn't realise. So he even asked me to stop using that gif. I was like, no, I've got 24 hours of it, sorry. So he's just taken that after me retweeting him, and then the Bulls go and do that.
It was a tough week for Knicks. I've got all my hands up because I've gone public and not blamed the refs for a defeat. I've never ever done that. I've always said I'm not blaming this for the defeat, but this was a terrible call. And there's been a couple, and one of them in particular, I remember Lonzo had a 3-point shot, and it was a perfectly good shot. I think it was against the Rockets, which we shouldn't have even been in that position. So this is why I say I'm not blaming the refs. But as Lonzo come down, he just lost his balance and went over, and they called it an offensive foul.
Yeah,
he reviewed it, and it still it stood.
It's a big, but I mean, the thing is I said the reason why unofficial rule changes gives an excuse for the referees to make terrible calls and not be accountable for it because they could just hide behind the excuse of we wanted more contact, etc., which then gets to the Knicks versus Nets game. The final foul called on James Johnson, which there shouldn't be a single debate. It was a clear, blatant foul. But because of the inconsistencies in officiating, it's now questioning whether that's a foul or not. And you're going to see players getting more and more wound up because there's no line now. Yeah, people didn't like it last year that there was fouls given which were quite soft, but at least players knew where they stood. They knew what they did would be called a foul. It's a lot more entertaining for us now. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot more fun, but as players, they must be tearing their hair out because it's just so inconsistent.
This is the trouble, the inconsistency. I don't think anyone would disagree with, like, James Harden when he was at Houston. It was just so hard to watch because he knew what he was doing every time. And listen, it was effective and fair play to him. Like, absolutely. Same with Trae Young. You know, the changes need to be made, in my opinion. But like you say, it's the inconsistency now, which is a massive problem. I think it's such a hard game to officiate. It's so quick. If you don't whistle at the exact point of contact, the people calling the game say that was a late whistle. And it might only be a second late, but they'll say that's a really late whistle. I don't think, well, I know I can officiate in the NBA. It must be so hard. There you go, mate. You're nice and clear again now. It must be so hard to do their job. But some of their calls are inexcusable, especially when that Lonzo one, for example, I keep going back to, was reviewed and they still stood with it. It was a no call. It wasn't an offensive foul. It wasn't a defensive foul. It was just a no call. Yeah,
that grinds me because that happened in yesterday's game with who was it yesterday? It was the Jazz and the Cleveland, and the Cavs coach. The Cavs coach called coach's challenge. It was right at the end of the first half, and Jazz player took a 3-point shot, and there was a foul called on him, shooting foul. It wasn't even in the motion of shooting. It was questionable whether it was even a foul. Went to review. Everyone was just assuming it was going to be reversed. And then it's like, challenge unsuccessful. And it's things like that which infuriate you because it's just doing it to try and stick with their decision. Whereas people are going to be a lot more happy if you go, yeah, it's a hard job. You got it wrong. You looked at it. Fine.
If you hold your hands up and admit you got it wrong, then no one can say anything after that. No one can say anything. You say, yeah, I got it wrong. Overturn it. What's the point of having reviews if they're still going to double down on such shocking decisions? Like, what is the point? I know a lot of decisions do get overturned, but now it has to be so blatantly not what they said it was for it to be overturned.
Yeah, and I find it very hard. I'm glad because fourth quarters take long enough as it is. Yeah. I'm glad they scrapped the review in every decision, but firstly, before that, they need to scrap the 3-minute timeouts, the 5-minute timeouts to show all your advertising breaks because fourth quarters last season took 45 minutes, it's crazy, which makes the game so unwatchable. Is that they should be scrapping that before they're scrapping review and plays because that could cost the game. But I find it bizarre that if you challenge and your challenge is correct, you don't get to challenge another call.
No.
I just find that utterly, utterly bizarre. Have a challenge. If it's wrong, you lose it. Fine, you lose it. But you should keep that challenge. That's how it's done in every other sport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in tennis and everything. Cricket is all the same. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's quite funny you saying about how long the fourth quarters are. I remember when I was watching a game a while back and me and my other half were going out and she was like, how long's left on the game? It's like a Sunday morning or something. I'd get up and I was like, there's only 4 minutes left. 20 minutes later, I was still sat there watching it.
And I timed the fourth quarter last season in the Nets game and it was 46 minutes.
Wow.
46 minutes for a fourth quarter.
Wow, that is... Oh, man.
And especially when you're trying to get you people into basketball.
That's not going to help.
It's a lot different because generally over here, if you're getting new people into basketball, they're watching highlights, because if someone's new, they're not watching the game at 2:00 in the morning to get into basketball. You're watching the game at 2:00 in the morning because you absolutely live and breathe it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fine, because that's why League Pass is good, because it takes out all of those breaks. But it's just it's so hard to back it and say how good it is when you're seeing that, because it's just so often. And then if you lose after, imagine getting done on a buzzer beater after 46 minutes. It's 4:30 in the morning. You know you're going to be a miserable turd the next day. Probably going to get divorced because you told your wife to piss off. That it's just a horrendous situation.
Oh man. Right, Ellie, we're gonna do. I'm not gonna do the player thing with you because I'll be honest. I was trying to find Nets and Bulls players, and I found a few, but I don't think you're gonna get them, to be honest. But one of them was TLC actually, so maybe you would have got that one. But I decided.
It's my favourite gift thing. The fact there's a gift made where he scores a 3-pointer. He just looks at the camera as he's walking off, and it's like, this is my city. I'll just post that everywhere. I love TLC. Big up TLC.
Right, I'm going to jump to, and then I'm going to let you massively plug away, but I'm going to jump to the Meavy guests, the score predictions. So it was one apiece. I got 1 week right. I think it was Liam Chapman got the other week right. No one else has got it right so far. I had on Marcus Couch last week from California, and he said 4-0. I said 3-1, and of course it was 1-3. So that was a bad week. So no one got that right. So Ellie, I'm going to ask you to predict the next 3 games, which is from now until next Monday. So Bulls have got Denver Nuggets at home tonight. Then we are going on the road to face the finisher and the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, we got Miami on the road.
Nuggets are finding a bit of form. They're good matchups. They're 3 good games then. But I'm on your podcast with a Bulls jersey on.
Be true to yourself, man.
So we are going 3-0 to the Bulls with a score differential of plus 150.
Bulls by 50, all 3 games.
And that reminds me, I did mention it when we were saying about tweets and you got things set up. As soon as I saw that one from you, and there's the private Nets by 51 of me that was after the 2K draft, where I did it in Spain, and it was about 36 degrees, and it's about 3 hours that I had to be sat there in a pair of pants with a fan on me, that I just photoshopped me from that over your picture, and it's just in the drafts ready to send, and we didn't win. So I've now got to wait months before I can send it to you.
Well, you sent it to me privately. I think you WhatsApped it me this morning, didn't you? I mean, you're probably not going to get a chance to show me that this year, or show the people that this year. So you'd have to just sit on that for the foreseeable, I think.
All right, we'll just wait to the conference finals when it's 4-0.
So you're admitting you're going to lose 4-0. Oh, that's interesting. So 3-0 this week and 4-0 in the playoffs. I like it. I'm going 2-1. An optimistic 2-1. Do you know what?
Who's the one?
Who are we losing to?
Yeah.
Miami.
No, not Cavs and Laurie Markkinen. Because the Bulls are better with Laurie Markkinen.
I really want it. I don't want it to be Miami who we lose to. I would happily take 2-1 out of those 3 games, obviously, because I'm not an idiot, and that would be a great.
That would be a good one. Yeah.
That would be a great week. I don't want to lose the Miami game. I'd rather lose the Cleveland game, I think. Although Bulls fans will completely disagree with me there because, well, maybe they won't because they don't like Miami either. So,
do you think there'll be a tribute video for Laurie Markkinen?
There will be in this house.
Genuinely, will there be a tribute video?
In my house, yes. See, I was going to get up for the Denver game tonight,
The highlights of the tribute video would just be you. Imagine you and the Bulls Titantron in your 742 Laurie Marketing jerseys.
Oh, do you know, I mentally prepared myself to get up for the Nuggets game tonight. But I really want to watch that Cleveland. I can only really do one live one a week because it kills me otherwise. Oh, I might just treat myself to two, mate, and just deal with the consequences. I've got to watch the Cleveland game live, haven't I? I have to.
It's Christmas.
It is.
You've
Christmas.
got that excuse for everything you do. It's Christmas.
While we're talking about Lowry, right? So I don't have to bring him up like off my own back. I don't know if I've mentioned this before on here. I think you knew, Ellie, because I put it in the group. But that crazy video where I was pretending to cry, by the way, a lot of people thought that was genuinely me crying, which is really worrying for the state of humanity. Larry Markkanen's agent got in touch with me after that and said, I love the video, so did Lowry. If you're ever around Cleveland, get in touch and we'll hook you up. So that was a really nice touch.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you saying that. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. I mean, it's good when things like that. And I've said it. All social media are probably the best team in the league for recognising fans.
Yeah.
The Nets are shocking. The Nets are terrible. I don't think I've had interaction with all Yes Network and everything like that. Like, I've been on Where Brooklyn Out. I've been showed during half time and everything. But actually with the Nets, it's impossible. Which is a shame, really, because I don't expect much stuff from me because it's kind of a business too.
Yeah.
But Twitter's slightly different, which I use Twitter for personal interactions, and that's why it's titled as Elliott from Hoopin and Lootin. So I fully understand, and it's why I don't ask many people to do stuff on there, because I get that it's a business. But when I don't see teams interacting with like the UK Nets fans or any team basically interacting with their dedicated UK page, I find it a bit bizarre and it's a little bit disheartening because it's not hard for them.
No.
And it's not as if there's hundreds of accounts which are titled UK Chicago Bulls. You get, but it's very rare for other teams. You think of like poor Josh at Utah Jazz. I mean, Utah Jazz don't have any fans outside of Utah, so it can't be hard. But like, I don't believe there's even another Utah fan in Europe, let alone in the UK.
That's why we had to get a non-Utah fan to start the account.
Exactly, but you think they'd share stuff like that because they'll notice it, they'll see it. It's not, these people paid a lot of money to see them. It's strange.
I'm 37 years old, right? And on my birthday back in April, I put a picture of my birthday cake that my mum made me. I don't know if you saw it. It was really awesome. It's Chicago skyline and then the Bulls badge on the logo on the top. And all I put was, I didn't tag them or nothing. They follow me, which clang. Do you know what I mean? But which is awesome. They follow.
I'm followed by the Sacramento.
That is really weird. That's so weird.
I think it's the Kings. I'm sure it's the Kings I'm followed by.
But the Bulls follow quite a lot of the people. Obviously, I know G-Shack's followed, and there's a few others. Sam Blake got a follow now. There's quite a few of them. The social media is brilliant, like you say. So I didn't even tag them, and I just put birthday cake, and I think I hashtagged Bulls Nation. And they were straight on it, like happy birthday and stuff. And I've done the same with Ollie. I put something on Ollie's. Bought him he's got the full Larry Markkanen uni. Larry was still with us at the time. And I've done
the same.
It's not
dead, mate. It's not dead.
Well, sometimes the way people talk about him. Actually, I hope Ollie doesn't listen to this. I'm trying to get him an Alex Caruso jersey. I'm struggling, but I'm really desperately trying to get him one because obviously I've got to get a custom-made one, but it's proving to be a lot more difficult than it should be. But yeah, if anyone knows where I can get a junior size, probably medium, maybe small. He's got a small at the moment. Probably go medium. A junior, this is a massive beg. If anyone can get me a Bulls...
I'll tell you after.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome. Okay, well, there we go. Sorted then.
I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to encourage anyone.
I think I know what you're going to say, but they're not doing customs anymore. That's why I didn't bring that up.
It's not online.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, cool. Right, well, hopefully I'll be able to source Ollie because I've got the City edition Alex Caruso coming hopefully this week. Should be. Let's be honest. We know where that's coming from. It could be next year. But hopefully my City edition Caruso will be here this week. So I desperately want to get Ollie one because Ollie will sit and watch a game with me now. And where he used to spot Lowry, because obviously it's been drummed into him, now he is very much on the Caruso bandwagon with his dad. He's only 4, but he loves it. And the headband... You've probably seen the pictures of him. He's got his own headband and stuff, and he just loves it. So I've got to get him a Caruso jersey. I have to.
And I want to see then Ollie send in a Hoopin and Lootin Christmas card.
They will actually.
Yes,
I was just about to talk to you about that. I didn't have them this weekend. Otherwise, they would have been on it. But I'm picking them up Friday, so I'm going to get them to do one Friday night. Especially Jess. My daughter Jessica will be all over it. She's 6. She loves drawing and design and stuff, so she'll be all over it. Ollie's about as creative as me with stuff like that, so it might just be a scribble. But Jess will probably do you an awesome one, so she can enter it for Ollie. But yeah, next thing, man, just plug yourself away. Obviously, all them jerseys in the background.
Yeah, so we have the now annual Christmas Day drop coming up. In case anyone didn't know and just wondering who's this random mug like going on the Balls podcast, I run a basketball NBA jersey store called Hoopin and Lootin. So yeah, currently I think we're up to 180 now. So 180 new jerseys are dropping on Christmas Day at midday. So I'm also a man of the people, so I've given every single person an excuse here to get out of peeling spuds, setting the table, etc. You need to be in line for that drop. Everything I sell is below retail. That's the whole mantra of my business, is that people are often held to ransom in the UK, etc., etc. You've all heard me go on about it. But if you want to steal, also get on the website because there's drops going on all the time into the 4-5 bargain bucket. It got snapped up though. Laurie Markkinen got snapped up a couple of weeks ago from the 4-5 bucket.
I saw it hovering in there. By the way, sorry, shout out to Sam Blake. Sorry, mate, I've only just seen your comment earlier. He's put, will you wear a Lowry jersey for the Cavs game? Absolutely not, Sam. Don't be so daft. I love Lowry, but come on, man. I'm a Bulls fan more than anything. Sorry, go on, else. So hang on, the Lowry jersey got snapped up. Do we know? Can you say who, or is it all confidential?
I don't know who it was. There's still a Kobe White in there, City edition.
I've seen that, the blue one. That's nice.
Yep, but the Laurie Markkinen got snapped up.
Wow.
In fact, I think there was 2. I'm sure there were 2 that got snapped up.
Wow. So
there was a City edition and a red one.
I saw the red one. I didn't see the City one. Was it the blue City one?
No, it was the.
It was the black. It was the black Chicago one. Season. Yeah, the Chicago script without the Nike badge. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
No, the cinema one. That's it. That's what I see. The cinema
yeah. Nice jersey though.
But there is a heavy Bulls influence in this drop. There is a lot of Bulls stuff. DeMar DeRozan Bulls jerseys are in there.
Whoa!
Which haven't been revealed yet. There's your little mic drop.
Right, let's have an exclusive. Show me the back of one of those, Al. Let's have an exclusive, because I nearly bought a custom one of these, right? But I was worried that
Kobe White Jumpman.
Yeah, that's nice. That statement jersey is a beautiful jersey.
Got some Blake Griffin here too. Here we go.
Oh man, come on. Oh man, it's got the small E. What size is that, Al?
That is a medium.
Oh, right. I'm glad then, because that's not my size. So go and buy that, people. Christmas Day, you can get. That is nice. So if you got a few DeRozans, have they all got the small E?
Oh, that's the only DeRozan I've got.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we've got your retros. We've got your Pippin pinstripe champions.
Oh, it's just such a nice jersey that is, man.
We have got your normal Pippins. We've got some MJ scripts.
Awesome jersey.
we have got your. I'll tell you what I should have worn.
That's Elton Brand. That's not Dwayne Wade, is it? It is Dwayne Wade. Oh,
It's
wow.
Wade. Yeah, I should have worn that, shouldn't I?
I thought that because you had an Elton Brand one before, didn't you? I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's on there. I've got
Sam Blake's after an XL or a double XL.
well, you could have a XL authentic Chicago Bulls Mitchell and Ness.
That is beautiful.
Jersey.
I've got that jersey, and not one picture I've seen does that jersey justice.
You'll have to fight G-Shack though.
I've got it. What size is that one, Al?
The
rookie.
That's a large.
Oh, okay. Sam's after an XL or a double XL.
An XL Scottie Pippen champion with the white writing.
That's
only
nice.
worn for one season, the white writing.
That's nice.
We've got Luol Deng.
Oh my god, what size is the Deng?
Deng is a medium champion.
Oh, that's all right. It's not my size. The reason I keep saying that's all right, guys, is because I can't keep spending money in Hoopin and Lootin like I have been.
Who's this?
Who's that? Go on. I don't know. Williams.
Oh, no idea it is, so you can tell me.
When would that have been?
We've
a champion.
Got a lot of balls. We've got some D Rose. You've got your D Rose jersey now, haven't you?
So I've got the grey sleeve D Rose, and I've also got the green D Rose, the green St. Paddy's Day. I've got that. That's a clean jersey. That is medium and large Zach LaVine red jerseys. The Bulls jerseys are so clean. Like all of them are awesome. I'm actually gutted that DeRozan one is a medium. I love that jersey, the white. Love that.
Oh. You have to get back in the court then, won't you, Jamie?
I'll just lay off the spuds at Christmas and I might be all right.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a heavy Bulls influence. You thought I was lying when I told you that, didn't you? But there was a lot of Bulls.
I didn't think you were lying. I just didn't want it to be true because I haven't got the money to be spending, quite frankly. Yeah, Jay Williams, Sam Blake says. Jay Williams on that champion. Yeah, that's awesome. 180 jerseys, you say? All dropping Christmas Day.
That's the moment. And we've still got 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks insane. Of deliveries to come.
And what time do they drop?
Sorry?
What time are they dropping?
Midday.
Midday. There you go, folks. Midday, 180 jerseys at least dropping. Loads of Bulls ones. If you're a medium, if you're a men's medium in these new Nike jerseys, get on there and get that DeRozan, the white Bulls jersey, DeRozan. It is, if you're listening to this on the podcast and you're not watching it, that is so clean. And I am gutted that it's not a large. That is a beautiful jersey.
Yeah. And we've also, I know people don't want to hear me go on, but we've also got the app dropping in the next couple of weeks. But also, make sure you're following me on Twitter because there's always giveaways. At the moment, I've got some youth jerseys coming in. So we're giving them completely free. All you need to do, get your kid to design a Christmas card. So not only do I give away free jerseys, I give you lot half an hour of silence from your annoying little kids. Give them some crayons, go piss up in the corner, draw a picture. Dad's trying to watch the basketball. And he might win a free jersey out of it. See, I'm a man of the people.
That didn't come from me, that quote. Just before anyone starts accusing me of being a terrible father.
It came from Michael Jordan. His exact words
were,
fuck
yeah. Yeah, we all remember that.
Be like your hero. Be like Mike.
Oh, man, you can tell Ellie ain't got kids.
Salesman.
That's why he's got all them jerseys in the back. Right, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us, man. Just give your tags, usernames a quick tag as well.
Yeah, so Instagram is Hoopin and Lootin. Twitter is Lootin. And the website is hoopinandlootin.com.
There we go. That's on the screens as well. And you've probably... I didn't even introduce Ellie as Elliott Wade from Hoopin. I think maybe I did. I can't remember. If you don't know, then where have you been, basically? Because he's pretty much everywhere. Can't bloody get rid of him sometimes. But yeah, no, Ellie, thanks for coming on, mate. I really appreciate your time. It's been a good old chat. Always love chatting with you, man.
Pleasure. Enjoyed it, pal. Thank you for having me on.
No worries, man. And good luck with that Christmas Day drop. We will speak well before that anyway. But that is going to be insane. So yeah, man, get on that, people. That's crazy. So yeah, thanks to everyone joining us, watching live, catching up, or just listening. As always, say it every week, but I seriously really appreciate it. You have no idea. And as I said, even if people aren't watching, I get to chat to people like Ellie today and just have a good laugh. So I'm happy. It's a win-win for me. But thanks, everyone. And we should be back next week. I'm waiting on confirmation with a guest, but, well, I will be back. I've got a couple of other guests anyway, so I can bring one of them forward if need be. So we will be back next week. I will confirm the time, but I'll probably aim for 8 o'clock. But yeah, I'll let you know. So thanks again, guys. Enjoy the games this week. Let's see if we can get 2-1, my prediction, or 3-0, Ellie's prediction. I mean, I hope Ellie's right. Like I always say, I will take the loss for the Bulls win. So enjoy your week, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace out.